Amanda had always been fascinated by the dark corners of the world, those places where light never quite seemed to reach. Late one evening, she stumbled upon an ancient, crumbling book tucked away in the shadows of her attic. The pages, brittle with age, whispered tales of horrors long forgotten. Intrigued, Amanda began to read. The book, written in a flowing script, wasn't just any book. It was a collection of tips, but not the kind you'd find in a lifestyle magazine. These were tips for those who dared to navigate the treacherous paths of the supernatural. Tip number 1. Always carry a mirror. Amanda's pulse quickened as she read the explanation. A mirror, it said, could reveal things not visible to the naked eye, spiritual entities that roamed the darkness. That very night, she placed a small hand mirror on her bedside table, reflecting the pitch blackness of her room. In the silence, she swore she saw a figure only visible in the glass, hovering just behind her shoulder. Tip number 2. Never pick up the phone after midnight. Amanda chuckled nervously, dismissing it as a superstitious joke. However, curiosity gnawed at her. One night, as the clock struck 12, the phone rang, a piercing sound cutting through the suffocating silence. Her hand trembled as she reached for the receiver, but the memory of the book's warning made her pull away. The phone fell silent after 6 excruciating rings. But what haunted her dreams was the echo of whispered voices, ones that seemed to repeat her name over and over. Tip number 3. If you hear a knock on your door, open it before the second knock. This last tip was the most cryptic. Amanda pondered its meaning for days, feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. One stormy night, as lightning splintered the sky, a solitary knock echoed through her home. The sound was distant yet bone-chilling. Her mind raced. What if she didn't reach the door in time? Heart pounding, she sprinted down the hallway. She flung open the door just as the second knock was about to land. Standing before her was a shadowy figure. As it raised its head, hollow eyes stared back at her. Before she could scream, the figure vanished, leaving behind a chilling cold that seeped into her very soul. From that night onward, Amanda never ignored the tips from the dark, for she had learned that the boundaries between the world of the living and the dead are perilously thin. If you find an old book of tips in the shadows, take heed. For some tips are meant to save you from the darkness that watches, waits, and whispers.